complaining about was in the app, baby girl, was in the app. Do you even want to be here? Like, what are we doing? What? Who say what? Where they do that at? MSC Seashore. I'm like, you know what? It's the cleaning supply. And welcome to another non-stop adventure. My name is Carisha and I am solo today to talk to you about the pros and cons of the MSC Seashore. Make sure you stay tuned until the very end because I am leaving no stone unturned. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you all. When I got on this ship, I had already made my mind up. I'm not coming back. But by the time I left, I had a change of heart. So let's get into the pros and cons because I have a lot of ground to cover. We're gonna move a little fast in this video so that I can make sure I give you all of the information needed. I'm gonna start with the pros and then we'll get into some of the cons. Let's start with the top pro right off the bat, the director. So on this ship, I did have Reverend Dr. E. When I tell y'all, he is a vibe. If you can get him on the, right now I think he's on the Seashore, but I think next year he's gonna be on possibly other ships as well. If you can get Reverend Dr. E, let me tell you, he turned that ship every which way but loose. A time was had. He was a big contributor to us having a wonderful time because he kept the party going. He was live, he was crunk. You know, he made sure everybody participated. He just really had a vibe about himself. I've never had a director that good. Like seriously, he is one of the best. There were people on the ship that said they've been on 1,000,000 cruises. Y'all know how y'all do. I'm a diamond, platinum, triple, double, quadruple. I done been on 1,000 cruises and he is the best. If you can get him, I highly recommend it. And I will say that is one of the things that changed my mind about will I go back on the Seashore. Now, you may or may not get him, but if you do, you are definitely in for a time.
Left, watch it first. How you gonna do it if you don't know what you're doing? Watch it, we're gonna go right, left.
Okay, the next pro is also a con actually, but we'll talk about the pro first. The entertainment. I thought the entertainment that was on the ship, the little bit of entertainment that we had, I thought it was good. I really specifically liked the shows. I felt like the dancers were really good. The singing was cool. Y'all need to leave that Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Leave it alone. I want all cruises to just drop it. I'm tired of y'all doing Whitney like that. But I thought the dancing was really good. There was a couple from Colombia, and I'm gonna have to find out her name and look her up because when I say she was good, I heard that they were professional dancers. They were excellent. I'm inserting footage throughout this video, and as you can see, they really turned it out. And also Le Cabaret Rouge, if you get a chance, make sure you go to that. It's like the nightclub. They have different shows in there as well and different things going on. That was a really good time. It's multiple levels. It's just the drinks are also good in there. I really like the whole vibe that they had going on. Another pro about the MSC Seashore is that it was launched in August 2020. So it is a newer ship. And the theme, the decor, everything about how it's decorated from the time you get on the ship is extremely well done. I want to say when I got on, there was an area that gave me like a vibe like I was in New York. Of course, there was another area that I can't think of where, you know, what it reminded me of. But like I say, the decor is on point. The way they decorated their ship is beautiful. It's just very well done. And you know, I mean, that's not a huge thing, but it is something that you take notice of. It's a beautiful ship. Okay, the next pro, we gotta talk about the wristbands. The wristbands are an excellent idea. I need every cruise line to adopt these wristbands, please. So when you get the wristband, you no longer really need the card. You can use the wristband to get in and out of your room. You can charge to the wristband. You can get in the pool with the wristband, and I don't have to mess around with no card. See, I don't have time for the card. I do not have time. But to get on and off the ship, you know, you want to take the card with you, of course. But the wristband is an excellent idea. It made everything so convenient. I put it on at the beginning of the cruise, and I used it until the time I got off. And I think mine was $10. So excellent, good price, and it was really convenient. Another pro that I really loved is that there were plenty of pools and plenty of hot tubs. And the main pool that I used was huge. There was room for anybody who wanted to get in. The The hot tubs actually got hot. Imagine that, because yes, I have been on some ships where the hot tubs ain't even get hot. I don't recall the number of pools on the ship, but there were several, so you have plenty of options. And I really like that, because on some of these ships, it's not like that. The pools are smaller. Like I want to say on our Carnival Magic cruise, not only was the pool small, it wasn't a lot of them. Like, and it just, that's one of my favorite things to do on the cruise, is to get in the water. I know some of y'all might not vibe with the pools, but I love the pools. So the pools on MSC did not disappoint. Not only are they beautiful, they're big, plenty of room. And like I say, the hot tubs get hot, which is important. Okay, another pro for me is that I felt like my room was really clean. Disclaimer. We're gonna get to that in a minute. I felt like the room was clean. Now, in my cabin tour video, listen, I get in the corners, the little crevices, all in the room, and I get on the floor for y'all. Do you hear that? No, but seriously, I felt like it was clean. I was in the bathroom in the corner. There was not mildew, mold, all of that extra stuff you be seeing on some of these ships. So I thought the room was clean. Now, unfortunately, I did find some dirt. Let's take a look at this clip right here. Let's take a look at this clip. One thing I noticed about the telephone, it looked like it has not been cleaned off since the dinosaur ages. My Lord. My Lord. Look at that telephone. But overall, I will say this. The overall vibe from the room and the ship is that it was clean. Now, I caught them up a little bit, as you saw from that clip. But for the most part, I do feel like it was clean. So that was good for me. Now, I do have some things that I'm going to address in my cons. And we'll get to that in a minute. The next pro. Can we talk about the Wi-Fi? Okay, hands down, excellent Wi-Fi for me on this cruise. It was really good. Now the cruise, I do want to state that it went to the Bahamas, and that's the only place that the cruise went. But the Wi-Fi, I had no issues. Now the Wi-Fi for me is extremely important, because sometimes I have to work, sometimes I have to upload YouTube videos, sometimes I gotta watch Power. Back then, Power was in the final season, so I had to see what Tariq and Bray was up to. My Stars app worked without any problems. Y'all, I'm telling you, get the Wi-Fi if it's something you feel like you'll use. It literally was perfection from beginning to end. Another pro, there was lots of places to drink, and the drinks did not disappoint. Another huge pro in my book, because I'm all about technology and advancements, the app. It is a must that you get the app. Please do not. I know people who got on that ship and was like, I couldn't go to no shows. I wasn't able to do this. I didn't know where this was at. That's because you ain't got the app. Get the app. And from the app, you have to book your show anyway, because they do fill up. So there is a capacity limit. So when you get on the ship, if you want to go to a show, you want to go ahead and go on the app and get that booked. It tells you, the app is basically your lifeline. There was someone else who went on this cruise the week before me, and they were complaining about a lot of things. And I'm like, it's in the app. You didn't have the app. How are you complaining about the ship when you ain't had the app? So what is you doing? You can't really complain and say, you couldn't do this, couldn't do that, because the stuff you complaining about was in the app, baby girl. It was in the app. So make sure you download the app. When you get on the ship, it'll be working. Get your shows booked and use that app to your advantage. Everything is in the app. Another pro is I felt like it was a excellent value for the money. I was solo on this cruise, and it was cheap. I mean, I got all of that for the low. I cannot complain, about the price. Some of these cruises, let's be real, overcharging. They are overcharging, so it was nice to get away and not have to break the bank. I'm not trying to cash out all the time. Sometimes I want a little cheap vacation, but I want to have a good time. Another pro was MSC Private Island Ocean Key. There's so much to do. There were so many beaches that you can go to. Also had the buffet. Ocean Key was a vibe. Now, when I mainly went and got content for you all, so I didn't, get to do as much as I would have done, but I'm looking forward to going back. When you go to Ocean Key, you are going to have a blast. Like, seriously, it's a good time. Another pro for me is just the vibe. The people on the ship, and I know every cruise is different, so, on your ship, you may have a different experience, but I really feel like it was just a good time. The people just had a good attitude. It was people from all over, which you get that really on any ship, but this little group we had, honey, a time was had. From the parties, everything about it, I felt like it was just a good mix of people. And I had other people who were on the Seashore at different times, and they said the same thing. They said the people that, you know, the customers that were on the ship were a vibe. We're going to get to them employees in a minute. Now, I have another pro that was a pro for me, but for other people that were on the ship, they complained about it. They complained about it in the elevator. They complained about it at dinner. So I really wanted to mention this pro last, because I know my experience for this particular thing is different than what the average person may experience. A lot of people, because we're getting into the cons, but for me, the ship was easy to navigate. But understand, I'm a content creator. As soon as I get on a ship, I'm checking everything out. I learn the ship, even if it's a new ship for me, day one. Because why? You know, I'm filming for you guys. I'm taking you guys all over. I ain't got time to be confused. I ain't got time to be confused, lost, or nothing. So I learned it very quickly. By the end of day one, I pretty much have it down. You know, I look at it before I leave. I study it. So for me, it was easy to navigate. But a lot of people stated while we were on the ship, they were complaining. They complained that there were too many dead ends and that the ship did not flow. They complained that they would be walking on one level and reach a dead end and didn't get to their destination. They have to turn around, go back, do this, do that. You know, like I say, for me, that wasn't an issue, but it's different for me because when I get content, so I learn it very quickly. But a lot of people did complain about the navigation, the dead ends, and not getting to where they wanted to go all on one level. I mean, all right, let's get into the cons. Con number one, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. The staff was rude. I mean, they was rude. I'm like, do y'all want to work? Did y'all want to come to work today? Because I really got the feeling, it's like, do you even want to be here? Like, what are we doing? There was even one lady in the staff, she was talking to somebody and she asked them, do it look like I can read upside down? What? Who say what now? I have to turn around like, oh, she talking to you. Oh, okay, she talking to you, cause what? I have to look at her face because you know people joke around. And you don't want to be that person who too serious. Baby, she was dead serious. I said, oh, baby, no, this ain't it. But there was just no, I'm like, do y'all smile? A smile goes a long way. But it seemed like they just didn't want to come to work. Now, I will say this, the person the waiter who served me at dinner, he was cool. You know, the people I interacted with on a daily, they was cool. But for the most part, the overall vibe was they didn't want to come to work. They was just plain out rude. I don't even know how else to tell you. What was your experience? Y'all let me know, but the customer service just was not there at all. And that's very disappointing because you're spending your money and then got to deal with somebody rude. Like, where they do that at? MSC Seashore. Okay, the next con for me, I don't know what it is, but something on that ship stank. Seriously, it smells bad. So I narrowed it down because I kept smelling it. I smelled it in my room. I smelled it by the food. Everywhere I went, I was smelling this smell. And to be honest with you, I think it's the cleaning supplies. That's what I think it is. And it's a bad smell. I don't know what they're using, but it's not it. It's not it. They need to go back to the drawing board and rethink it because that's not it. How was I able to narrow it down to the cleaning supplies? Because if y'all can recall, in one of my videos, my room did not get cleaned. And so when they finally cleaned it and I got back to the room, I'm like, what is that smell again? I'm like, you know what? It's the cleaning supplies. So I think that's what it is. I don't know, but some stank. It ain't right. It ain't right, y'all. It ain't right. They need to fix that. Now, entertainment was a pro, but part of the entertainment was a con for me because I feel like they need more things to do in the evening. So, of course, you have the shows, you have the La Rouge Cabaret, but outside of that, it just wasn't a whole lot going on, and I feel like they need more to do. Now, on my particular ship, there was not a comedy show. There are other people who said they was on the Seashore and they had a comedy show, so I don't know what was going on my cruise, but a comedy show would have been great. But I just feel like they just needed a little bit more action. So although the entertainment that they had was good, that's why it was a pro, they need more to do in the evening. Oh, I do have another pro for you all. Another pro is the parties. hands down. The white party, I can't remember the names of the other parties, but when I say we kicked it, we had a time. We kicked it on that ship. So the entertainment crew on the ship, baby, they gets the job done. Because when I say we had a time, like I say, the director had a lot to do with it, but the staff on the ship that was doing the entertaining, they had a lot to do with it. The people on it, a time was had. Please, please, please do not miss any of the parties because you will be upset. Okay, so the next con, the ship was hot. And I know y'all like, girl, what? It was hot, y'all. From the time we got on, because as we were boarding, the AC was out in the front area. But as time progressed, I'm like, is the AC out all over the ship? Is the AC just out? Or y'all having issues because it was hot? Now, in the room, the AC worked. So we was good there. Now, I'm not saying it's hot. Obviously, if you go outside by the pool, it's hot. I know y'all be trying it. But I'm not talking about when you outside. I'm talking about it's hot in between, everywhere. Indoors, it was hot. And a lot of people were complaining too, because I'm like, I know I can't be the only one that's hot on this ship. And sometimes I wouldn't even say anything. You know, I'm just dealing with my hotness. I don't want to complain because I'm on vacation. People was coming on the elevator like, ooh, this ship is hot. I'm like, I knew it was not just me. This ship is hot. But the pro for me and what got me through is that in the room, the AC was good. And at dinner, listen, I can't eat and be hot now. I mean, unless I'm outside, obviously, in the sun. Like at Ocean Key, you know, the buffet, all that's outside. We good. But if I got my good clothes on, if I got my Sunday clothes on, and I'm eating indoors, and I done did my hair and my makeup, I'm not trying to sweat. So it was good at dinner, it was good in the rooms, but everything in between, I want to say at the shows, it was good too. It was too many people at them shows for it to be hot. But yeah, the ship was hot. Now I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just our MSC Seashore, but they need to do something about that because that ain't it. All right, another con for me was the food. So the food at dinner was good. I did like the dinners. And also the people sitting with me, the people that shared the table with me, they liked the dinner as well. She said there was a couple times that the chicken was kind of bland, but she was able to season it to her liking, so it was cool. The dinner, I was like, okay, I can rock with this. That buffet needs some work. I didn't really care for the buffet. I ate it. Sometimes I would get a lot of things and it just wasn't hitting. I do think the buffet can be improved, but the dinner was cool. So overall, I think that the food is a con because all that food that they have in the buffet, and how most of it just was not hitting at all. It had a weird taste. And I think one day I had some beans. Y'all, I don't think I've ever had beans anywhere that wasn't good. How you mess up some beans? Like, I was so sad. I wanted them beans so bad. How do you mess up beans? Babe, how you mess up some beans? MSC messed them beans up though. I didn't think it was possible. Like, beans though? I wanted them beans so bad, y'all. You know, and another con for me is I just feel like overall things were unorganized. Things that should have been marked a little bit clearer. They just had no organization to themselves. It's like, what? Huh? So I do feel like they need to try to streamline some of their processes and get things organized a little bit more. Another thing I wanted to add, although there are automatic doors on the ship as well, there were push and pull doors in areas where it really seemed unnecessary. So I feel like it would be a lot more convenient if most, if not all of the doors, of course, outside of the rooms, would be made more automatic because the doors were a problem for some of the guests. When the queen come through, part like the Red Sea, move out the way. All right, so overall, in the beginning, it was really the rudeness of the staff to where I was like, oh, baby, this is not it. I don't think I'm coming back on this ship. Something ain't smelling right. Y'all got me pushing and pulling doors. The food mediocre, this ain't it. But what won me over was I did like the director. I liked the parties. I liked the entertainment that they did have, although I feel they need more. I like the entertainment. I like the pools. I literally was able to just relax in the pool. And I really had a time, especially in the evening and at the different parties. I felt really good. I felt like I was just having a great time. And for me, that outweighed some of the other things. The time I had on this vacation, I was calling Leroy like, babe, you need to be here. You know, I really hated that he missed out. And it just gave me a good feeling, you know, and the fact that I was still able to have a good time despite everything, some of the things not adding up. It's 2 + 2 wasn't equaling 4 on some of these things. But I still was able to overcome and have a wonderful time. And I would like for Leroy to go back and experience this with me. So will I go back on MSC? Yes. They have a new ship launching next year and I would like to go on that. So we'll see. But overall, would I go back on the Seashore? Yes, I would. So that was my experience on MSC Seashore. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment your thoughts. If you got any questions, let me know. We'll get those answered. And I will see you on our next Non-Stop Adventure. Bye.